I ranked every type of internet guru from harmless to dangerous using a threat level system, and I need to tell you, the ones that you think are actually safe might be the most dangerous. Because here's the thing, not all gurus are created equal. Some are annoying but relatively harmless, and others are actively destroying people's lives, their relationships, and their bank accounts. So I came up with some guru archetypes. And I'll tell you which ones you should be most worried about and why, because the danger isn't always where you expect it to be. Before I get started, please like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who you think would like it or hate it, because the algorithm doesn't care. This might be a bit controversial. You might disagree with some of my rankings, and that's fine. Leave your personal rankings in the comments for me after you watch the video, but I have very good and very specific reasons for every placement. Let's get into it. Here's how I'm ranking these guru archetypes. I call it the DupeCON system, as in how badly you're being duped. It's based on the 5-level defense readiness condition system that is used by the US Armed Forces. DupeCON 5 means relatively harmless, annoying, maybe wasteful, but not destructive. Normal peacetime readiness. DupeCON 1 means maximum danger. These gurus can cause serious and lasting harm. Nuclear threat level. This isn't about whether I personally like these kinds of influencers or not, or whether I find them annoying. This is about measurable harm. I'm evaluating each archetype according to 4 criteria. Number 1, financial exploitation. How much money are they extracting from their followers? And can those followers afford it? Number 2, psychological manipulation. What manipulation tactics are they using and how sophisticated are they? Number 3, isolation and radicalization. Are they pulling people away from support systems, critical thinking, or reality? And number 4, real-world consequences. What happens to people who follow their advice? Do they have better outcomes or worse? I'm going to start with DupeCON 5 and work my way up to the most dangerous. Here we go. DupeCON 5, the aesthetic guru. The aesthetic guru is all about the vibe. Minimalist homes, capsule wardrobes, perfectly curated Instagram feeds. They're selling you an aspirational lifestyle through visual perfection. Why are they at DupeCON 5? Because they're mostly harmless. Because what they're selling is pretty transparent. You know you're buying into aesthetics. The worst thing that happens is that you spend money on overpriced linen sheets and neutral toned throw pillows that you know you don't need. But they're so pretty. Financial exploitation, low. Their products are usually one-time purchases, not reoccurring revenue traps. Psychological manipulation is minimal. They're not claiming to transform your life, just your space or your wardrobe. Isolation, none. They're not building a cult. They're just styling with intention. Real-world consequences? You might declutter your house or get really into feng shui or color theory, which is fine. Examples include Marie Kondo-style minimalist influencers, Scandinavian design accounts, capsule wardrobe creators, stuff like that. The aesthetic guru is annoying if you're not into that particular aesthetic, but they're not out here ruining lives. DupeCON 4, the productivity bro. The productivity bro is obsessed with optimization, morning routines, time blocking, Notion templates, a 5 a.m. cold plunge. They've gamified their entire existence and they want you to do the same thing. Why DupeCON 4? They're annoying and their advice is often overkill, but the core message, get organized, manage your time, is not inherently harmful. The problem is that they treat productivity as a moral virtue, and they make you feel like a failure if you're not optimizing every single moment of every single day. Plus, they are anti-bed rotting, and I love a good bed rot session now and then. So to me, that feels like an act of violence. Financial exploitation, low to moderate. They generally sell you courses or templates, but they're usually at pretty affordable prices. The psychological manipulation is moderate. They can use shame and comparison. I woke up at 4 a.m. Why don't you? I have the same 24 hours in every day that you do. You know, that kind of crap. Isolation is low. They're usually not building insular communities. Real world consequences, mixed. Some people benefit from structure. Others burn out trying to maintain an unsustainable routine. Examples, productivity YouTubers, Notion gurus, morning routine influencers. The gym bros usually have some kind of productivity element to their content. The productivity bro might make you feel bad about sleeping past 6 a.m., but I don't consider them dangerous. So DupeCON 4, the boss girl. The boss girl is selling you entrepreneurial feminism, girl boss energy, building your empire. She's got the aesthetic down. The ring light, the iced coffee, the I'm the CEO of my own life kind of energy. You know the type. Why DupeCon 4? Here's where I might lose some of you. The boss girl isn't as harmless as she seems, but she's not top tier dangerous either. She's selling you the dream of financial independence through entrepreneurship, which sounds empowering until you realize that her business model is actually selling courses about starting a business, which she's never actually done before. Financial exploitation, moderate. Her courses are on the expensive side, $1,000 to $2,000, maybe $2,500, but not nearly as predatory as higher threat leveled influencers. Psychological manipulation, moderate. She uses aspiration and FOMO, but not sophisticated cult-like tactics. And by the way, I'm using the word she, but the boss girl could be any gender. Isolation, low. She builds community, but it's not isolating. Real-world consequences, most people won't make money from her advice, but they won't be financially ruined either. Examples include course creators selling you how to build an online business courses, Instagram coaches, personal branding gurus, people like that. The boss girl may be extracting money for dubious value, but she's not destroying lives. DupeCon 3. We're getting more serious now. The manifestation mystic. The manifestation mystic believes you can think your way to wealth, health, and happiness. Law of attraction, vision boards, scripting your future. They're selling you the idea that your thoughts create your reality. Why DupeCon 3? This is where the harm starts escalating a bit. The manifestation mystic isn't just selling false hope. They're kind of victim blaming. If bad things happen to you, it's because you didn't manifest hard enough. You're attracted to your trauma. You're poor because you're thinking poor people thoughts. You're vibrating at the wrong frequency. Financial exploitation is moderate to high. They sell courses, personal coaching, and retreats that can run thousands of dollars. Psychological manipulation is high. They exploit hope, desperation, and magical thinking. People who are deconstructing from Abrahamic religions like Christianity are especially susceptible to the manifestation mystics. Because their brains have already been primed for this kind of indoctrination through religion, the ideology fits very neatly and just replaces the Christian ideology that you had before. So ex-Christians, be advised. Isolation, moderate. They create communities where questioning the method means you're blocking your blessings. Real-world consequences, it can cause people to delay getting real help, either medical, financial, or psychological, because they're trying to manifest solutions instead. These are your law of attraction coaches, manifestation journals, money mindset programs. The manifestation mystic causes real harm by convincing vulnerable people that positive thinking is a substitute for action. DupeCon 3. The relationship guru. The relationship guru has totally hacked the dating and relationship game, and for $497, they can teach you all their secrets. They're selling you frameworks for understanding gender dynamics, but these frameworks are rooted in evolutionary psychology and gender essentialism. Why DupeCon 3? The relationship guru trades in stereotypes and oversimplification. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. And if your relationship doesn't fit their model, you're doing it wrong. They're not directly advocating abuse, but they are reinforcing rigid gender roles that can be damaging. Financial exploitation is moderate. Courses and coaching packages can run anywhere from $500 to $3,000 thereabouts. Psychological manipulation, moderate to high. They exploit loneliness and relationship anxiety. Isolation is moderate. They can end up creating an us versus them dynamic around gender. Real-world consequences, people apply rigid frameworks to complex relationships, which can make things worse. Examples, your run-of-the-mill dating coach, or feminine energy teachers, your high-value man content creators, those guys. The relationship guru isn't top-tier dangerous, but they are causing moderate harm through reductive advice. DupeCon 2, the Wellness Queen. The Wellness Queen is selling you health through pseudoscience, detoxes, cleanses, supplements, essential oils, alkaline water. She uses medical sounding language, but has zero actual credentials. Why DupeCon 2? The Wellness Queen causes real, measurable harm. People follow her advice instead of seeing doctors. They spend thousands on supplements that don't actually work. They delay cancer treatment, opting instead for a natural solution. This isn't just wasteful, it can be dangerous. Financial exploitation is high. Supplements, programs, and retreats can cost tens of thousands of dollars. Psychological manipulation is also high. These types of influencers exploit the health anxiety and distrust of mainstream medicine that many people have for their own purposes. Isolation, moderate to high. She creates communities that view doctors as the enemy. Real-world consequences, delayed medical treatment, wasted money, worsened health outcomes. Examples: anti-vax wellness influencers, supplement MLM leaders. And again, she is not always a woman. Wellness queens can be any gender, but most of the ones I've seen, they're usually women. These people are actively harming people's health. DupeCON 2. The trauma coach. Everybody's favorite reformed narcissistic abuser now coaches other men on how not to be narcissistic abusers. These are the types of people I'm talking about. The trauma coach has discovered that everyone is traumatized, and they conveniently have the perfect program to heal you. They are not licensed therapists, but they are diagnosing you with complex PTSD, narcissistic abuse, and attachment disorders via their Instagram reels. Why DupeCON 2? This one's tricky because trauma is real and people do need support, but the trauma coach is pathologizing normal human experiences, convincing you that you're more broken than you actually are, and selling you healing programs instead of referring you to actual mental health professionals. Financial exploitation, also high. Expensive coaching packages can run from $3,000 to $10,000 plus. Psychological manipulation is very high. They're literally telling you you're traumatized and that only they can fix you. Isolation, pretty high. They encourage cutting off toxic family and friends, leaving you solely dependent on them and their community. Real-world consequences, people can avoid actual therapy. Relationships can be destroyed, while dependency on the coach increases. Examples: unlicensed narcissistic abuse coaches, inner child healing programs, or attachment-style gurus without any training or credentials. The trauma coach is causing serious psychological harm, firmly in DupeCON 2. Finally, DupeCON 1, the maximum threat. The hustle bro. The hustle bro is selling you the dream of financial freedom through entrepreneurship, real estate, crypto, or drop shipping. He's got the Lamborghini. He's got the tricked out pad in some tropical paradise that's actually an Airbnb he's renting. And he's got screenshots of all the money he supposedly made in the last 10 days. Why DupeCON 1? The hustle bro causes severe financial harm. His followers are predominantly young men who can't really afford his courses but buy them anyway, going into debt for the promise of wealth. Most make nothing, some lose everything. And the hustle bro doesn't care because he makes money selling the dream, not actually helping you accomplish anything. Financial exploitation is severe. Courses can cost a lot of money. Often people finance them through credit cards or loans. The psychological manipulation is very high. He exploits men's masculine insecurity and the fear of being a loser. Isolation is also high. He creates brotherhood dynamics that shame anyone who dares to question the method. Real-world consequences include possible financial ruin, destroyed relationships, and maybe even a mental health crisis. Examples include the get-rich-quick course sellers, crypto pump-and-dump promoters, real estate gurus with no actual track record of being a real estate investor, guys promoting these shady gambling websites and apps. The hustle bro has the potential to financially ruin people, particularly young men. Definitely DEFCON 1. The wellness cult leader. The wellness cult leader takes the wellness queen to the next level. They're not just selling supplements. They're selling you a complete worldview. They're anti-medicine, anti-science, and often anti-government. Why DupeCON 1? People could die following their advice. Remember the ivermectin thing? Kids don't get vaccinated, and then you have a measles outbreak at Disneyland. Cancer patients refuse chemotherapy. Financial exploitation is severe. Followers spend tens of thousands on programs, retreats, and products. Psychological manipulation is extreme. These people use very sophisticated cult tactics, love bombing, us versus them narratives, information control even. Isolation also can be extreme. Followers are encouraged to cut off anyone who questions the leader and the dogma, including family. Real-world consequences: death, preventable disease, destroyed families, financial ruin. Examples: these are your QAnon-adjacent wellness influencers. These are the MAHA people, Make America Healthy Again. These are Dr. Oz, RFK Jr., anti-vax movement leaders, medical freedom gurus. The wellness cult leaders' advice is actively killing people. And finally, the most dangerous guru archetype is the political prophet. The political prophet has discovered the truth about what's really happening in the world. They see through the matrix. They see through the lies. They know who's really in control. Apparently, it's some secret cabal of reptilian Jews with space lasers, or the Illuminati. They're building a movement of awakened followers who will fight back against this invisible enemy. Why DupeCON 1? This is maximum threat level. The political prophet is the most dangerous because they radicalize people into extremist ideologies. They destroy families and they destroy communities. And they inspire real-world violence. The young man who shot Charlie Kirk, he followed a political prophet. They're not just taking your money or ruining your health. They're turning you into a soldier for their holy war. Financial exploitation is high to severe. Campaign donations, merchandise, premium content, legal defense funds. Psychological manipulation is extreme. They use every tactic in the cult playbook. Apocalyptic thinking, enemy construction, special knowledge, chosen people narratives. Isolation, also extreme. Followers are told that anyone who doesn't believe is either ignorant or complicit in the conspiracy, that they're the enemy within. Consequences include radicalization, domestic terrorism, destroyed relationships, violence, and death. While the political prophet can operate across the political spectrum, these days you will most often find these people among the far right. What makes them DupeCON 1 isn't their specific ideology, it's their methods. They create these hermetically sealed belief systems where questioning equals betrayal, where the enemy is existential, the gay agenda, gender ideology. And in these communities, violence becomes justified. Examples include some red pill manosphere influencers. We've heard of the red pill to MAGA pipeline. This is what I'm talking about. These folks. Accelerationist content creators, conspiracy theory leaders who build political movements, extremist ideologies with cult followings. People like Nick Fuentes. These are the folks I'm talking about. When your guru is telling you that there's a shadowy cabal controlling the world and only their movement can stop it, that immigrants are going to come in and replace all the white people and transform the country, when they're suggesting that violence might be necessary, you are in a political cult. The political prophet is the most dangerous guru archetype because they don't just take your money or your health. They take away your sense of reality. And right now in this country, these kinds of people are literally destroying democracy. DupeCON 1. Maximum threat level. So there it is, my complete DupeCON ranking of guru archetypes from harmless to maximum threat. Here is the list. Now here's what I want you to understand. These rankings aren't about individual people. They are about patterns of harm. Not every productivity influencer is harmless, and not every political commentator is a cult leader. What matters is the tactics they're using and the consequences for their followers. And here's the uncomfortable truth. You're probably following at least one of these archetypes right now. Maybe they're at DupeCON 5 or 4. Maybe you think you're immune to their influence. But if you've ever felt that pull, that sense that this person has all the answers, that their community gets you in a way that other people don't, that questioning them feels like a betrayal, you are experiencing these guru psychological dynamics. So here's what I want you to do. Go through all the people that you follow on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, wherever, and ask yourself, what is it that they're selling me? Really? What manipulation tactics, if any, are they using? What would happen if I questioned them publicly in the Discord or the Signal chat? What are the real world consequences for people who follow their advice? What DupeCON level are they operating at? And then decide, is this person opening my mind or are they closing it? Are they encouraging me to think more critically? Are they engaging in a lot of in-group bias? Because that's the difference between a teacher and a guru. A teacher gives you the tools and then sends you on your way. A guru wants you to be loyal to them and dependent on them for all the answers. Which archetype do you think I may have ranked wrong? Drop your own DupeCON tier list in the comments. And if you want me to do a deep dive on any one of these archetypes in particular, let me know. If this video helped you see guru dynamics more clearly, share it with someone who you think needs to hear it. And if you want to understand some specific manipulation tactics these gurus use, check out my video breaking down the 3 tactics every guru uses on you. See you next time. If you enjoy this kind of content, I invite you to watch my series, Witches, Whores, and Rebels, a feminist history of patriarchal capitalism and how to burn it down. It's a 3-part series with a 90-page companion guide that gives you the history of how we got here, centering the witch hunts, women's resistance, and providing a framework for how we move forward from here. The link is in the description when you're ready.